What are you actually afraid of? What really holds you back? Welcome to this episode of the Limitation Is A Mirage podcast. Today I want to talk about fear. So what are you actually afraid of? Not like I'm just afraid of spiders, but what is it that you're actually afraid of that holds you back? So whenever I was going through my issues with food and the fear of eating out and thinking that I was going to die, what that did was hold me back from taking gigs that were far away, from working with groups that were far away, because I thought, well, I'm not going to be able to eat there, and if I go there, I'm not going to be able to eat, which means I'll starve, which means I'll also die. So what it all came down to was a fear of like dying in some shitty way, of food-related way. So what is it that you're actually afraid of? So if you don't like speaking to camera, for example, as an easy example, then is it the fear of speaking to an actual camera and not understanding technology? Or is it a fear of how people will portray you on the camera, how you will look, what sort of shit people will say about you, what you might slip up your words, you might look like a bit of an asshole whenever you're doing it? Like, what is it that actually stops you doing it? And then is what it's holding you back from, is that smaller than the fear? So if I was afraid of doing the gigs, which I was, then I had to look at that and think, well, saving myself from dying from eating out is actually holding me back from all these experiences that I want to experience. All the different things that I could add to my life aren't going to happen because I won't risk going away and eating something that I haven't prepared myself and then dying there. So I had to look at that and think to myself, well, is that the way I want to live my life? Or do I want to do something about it? Do I want to do something about the fear, do something about what was holding me back, and actually achieve something? So in the last maybe month and a half, I've been talking to different people who have, we'll call them potential clients, people who want to come on board with some of the programs that I've been offering, and I've done like little sales on the program, things like that. Whenever we went back into lockdown, I put it up for 20 quid, things like that. And people approached me and talked to me about what they wanted to do, what they wanted to achieve in their life, but there was no point starting because Christmas was just around the corner. So they'll start in the new year. Like a lot of people do, they wait to the new year. And even though that we all know that it's been proven many times that if you start earlier, like if you start now in December on your, like say, weight loss journey, for example, or getting stronger, getting healthier, getting a routine, starting to read, whatever it is, if you make a plan to start now instead of waiting till the new year comes in, you're more likely to succeed than 95% of the people that start on January 1st. January 1st is just a time when it's just something that people do, and no one really expects to succeed at it. So whenever it doesn't work, you didn't really feel, sure, it was only something that it did. But yet people are still telling me that they're going to wait to the new year. And what that boils down to is a fear as well. They're fear of failure. So they think that if they start now and then Christmas comes along and Christmas makes them fail, then this is like every time they started, it's like their last chance to achieve whatever it is they want to achieve. So if they don't get through Christmas, then it's going to be shit, and they're going to start the new year shit. That's just going to ruin 2021. So instead, they'll hold off on their plans and make goals for the future. But I'm going to use 2020 as an example. This time last year, 2019, there was probably people sitting thinking, 2020 is my year. I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm just going to power through, it's going to be amazing. By the end of 2020, it's going to be the best year I've ever had. And then 2020 was an absolute shit show for everybody. Personally, like I lost gigs, clients, everything, all just by March, everything just was snapped away. You know, Thanos snap. So nobody could prepare for that. There was no way I could have thought, well, I need to set these things in motion for if something like 2020 happens, like a fucking global pandemic. Nobody had that rainy day fund or rainy day plan in place. So if you had been planning in this time last year that you were going to do whatever it is that you want to do and want to achieve by this time this year, then you probably would have got completely fucked over by the fact that 2020 just didn't go to anybody's plans at all. So then you wouldn't have got anywhere. Whereas if you make the plans now for yourself, say if you started now, whatever it is that's holding you back, like you can live with your fear or you can live in fear, which is Sounds the same, but it's a lot different. Living with your fear is like, whenever I first started to get over the food thing, I was still afraid of eating. When I went out to eat for the first time, I remember sitting thinking, right, one of these mouthfuls is my death. And then when that didn't happen, I felt happy that I got through that. And then I tried it again and again and again until I wasn't afraid of it anymore. But I lived with the fear. I didn't live in the fear, which is what I was doing previously. I was living in that fear, so I wouldn't go out. I would avoid it like the plague. I would avoid going away places and not having to eat away. So you have to make that decision. What do you want to do? Do you want to live with or in the fear? That's entirely up to you. But my main point is that now is the time to make your goals. Now is the time to make your plan. Now is the time to change your life for the better. So you're getting what, 2 to 3 weeks jump on everybody else who's going to wait to January. So you're sort of already stuck in your new pattern, your new routine. You've failed and stumbled and picked yourself back up and moved forward again. So that's just what I wanted to get through today. It was something that came up with someone I was talking to about a goal that they want to set, and we started talking about fear and just got into this sort of a conversation. So I thought it would be worth putting it out on the podcast so that you can listen to it over and over if you really need to help you move forward. So, as a recap, look at what you are afraid of. What's actually in the depths of it? Like, what is it that you're really afraid of? Not just the surface level, but go under as well. What is it that's really holding you back? And then find out if you can do something about it. If you have the skill set to do something about it, then do it. If not, reach out to someone. I'm sure you know someone that has. You'll probably find people that have had the same fear and overcome it. And then start to make goals and start to act upon them. Put them in place now and act upon them. So whenever you go into 2020, whatever the fuck it holds for us, you're in a much stronger position because you've already tested out some of the plans and goals that you want to have. So thanks again for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed this and get something from it. I hope you decide not to live in the fear, even if you just have to start by living with it. If you like this, please like and share it with anyone who you think it would help. Hit the wee notification bell and all that stuff because it'll help me grow my channel. Until the next time, have an amazing day, whatever you get up to, and I will speak to you again soon.